time for BTS now. Like, join Dota, obviously, death to us all.
Yep, pretty much.
Let's
Uh,
let's let's talk about the game, man.
but all right. Invoker wasn't first picked, which was interesting. It was actually Beastmaster. So Vega's probably gonna second pick Invoker if it gets through. I don't see any situation where they wouldn't. But I think it's one of probably Mag's best heroes, and as you can see, it's just really nice to have that vision advantage against aggressive teams like Empire.
Well, Empire go back in for this Enchantress pickup first off. I wonder if this time around we see something a little bit more normal. I think is the best way to ask about it for Team Empire. Actually throw that Enchantress into the jungle, have it rotating around. We get a Faceless Void offlane, so this will actually fly to us. We're looking at a Void offlane, an Enchantress inside the jungle. Even though there was... Oh, who was that team? There's one team that keeps playing Faceless Void safe lane.
It's possible. They actually go, wow, that's so interesting. They go Zeus again. I guess they just really like that Zeus against the Enchantress. I really, really expected them to pick Invoker, but Void also very good against Invoker for obvious reasons. Will it be a carry Void? I'm not sure. They've done that before, but I just think it's so much better as an offlaner nowadays. Like, the hero is meant to be played defensively as a teamfight disruptor, more so than just a hard carry.
I'm a little surprised that Vega would actually ban out the puck. Not that I'm saying like Team Empire don't actually have a great puck player. It's the fact that normally when I see a Faceless Void being picked up, I'm looking at a mid lane to have some kind of nuke potential, which is capable of like inflicting damage inside the Void Chrono, or the safe lane to have a lot of damage which can also be inflicted inside the Chrono. Yes, you've got the Enchantress Impetus, but you kind of want something else to work with. And the puck isn't... Like, he's another good teamfight controller.
They really it's weird actually because Empire actually picked Puck and Void together like 3 times over the past couple of days, and I don't really like those heroes in conjunction because, as you said, they're both those team fight disruptor types. Their raw damage output is not that high, and I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan. So Clinks, I like the ban. Clinks is really good against Zeus and in conjunction with Void. But both teams can kind of have really open drafts. Empire's run Enchantress Void actually twice recently. They paired it with Disruptor and Death Prophet one game, which I think would be solid here. I kind of like DP, and I think it works better for the type of style Vega's playing against them.
Would DP be strong enough to stand up against Zeus?
Yeah, DP destroys Zeus 1 versus 1.
I can understand that, like, when you're getting close, and obviously then the Zeus is kind of screwed. But if the Zeus can keep some range and have, like, a nice rotation, like, one hero to help him out in the mid. Interesting. Skywrath?
I like. Yeah, it's actually quite good against Void. There's the Invoker. So I actually like Empire's draft more here. I think it's got more raw synergy, and their last pick is going to obviously just be a support. The Sky Zeus Beastmaster combo, like, again, their damage output is really high. And the one thing I feel like Empire might be missing here is just a cleanse. Because right now, a target that gets roared will get Skywrath silenced, ulted, Zeus ulted, he'll just die.
Yeah.
And if they just had some sort of cleanse or ability to prevent that, then they'd be in a much better situation. And I love the Spectre pick. So the bottom lane, Void's going to have a lot of trouble. And it's just... Vega is once again in a situation where they just can kind of relax, go for pickoffs, abuse globals, and then at a certain point, they're just going to win the game. Spectre, in my opinion, is one of the best heroes against Invoker, as a lot of people who play pubs will tell you, because he just uses his ult, finds you, and then just targets you, and the game is really grim. And they actually banned Jug on Empire as well, which is probably the go-to counter to a Spectre. I mean, they have all their cores anyway, but, you know.
The Crystal Maiden was the final ban out by Team Empire. So worried about the counter to the Enchantress. And Vega actually banned Witch Doctor themselves. Maybe they're worried also about, like, what support synergy works with the Faceless Void apart from just the Enchantress. But who else would you want to run on Vega? Like, you can't eat a stunner. Maybe a saving grace up against the Faceless Void, something along the lines of a Vengeful Spirit. Can you get Can you get away with that with VS on Vega for their second support? Lion would have actually been really nice as well.
Yeah, I like Lion's fine. I agree. Wyvern might have actually been better, but they just have so much magic damage, and he would just have to. It'd pretty much be an alt hero, and that would be it. I like the Lion just to give them some control. They need to be able to. They just need more. They needed more damage control. They needed a bunch of everything. So Lion's about the greediest support you can get, so I'm fine with that. Vega, what are they gonna pick?
So I was thinking like VS may be an option for them. Like something to save someone from their Faceless Void ultimate.
I'd be okay with that. I think just because it's Vega, I think that a Disruptor might be more likely. I really like Disruptor with Spectre. Like, whenever you have all of these other heroes that provide vision, I think Disruptor becomes really, really good. They might not want it here. Maybe they go with like a Night Stalker type hero, just again to make their game plan around vision control, map control, delaying the game. I like Venge, but yeah, dude, they're gonna go Doom. I want them to pick something that can go off lane with the Beastmaster, because Lion Gyro is like relatively strong, but not amazing. And if you leave just a Beastmaster there, he really won't have a good time at all. So Solo will just counter roam on Mapushka and probably help out the Beastmaster, ensure he gets a good game. And I expect Vega's lanes to go pretty well with that pick, and I do agree with it. They just needed something to secure that very early phase of the game when they don't really have an answer to the Enchantress.
Yeah. Everything looks pretty good, man. Just before we go into it, I want to ask you this question because I'm hearing some tinkering in the background. Are your boys having breakfast over in America?
Yes, they are. Chef Josh made oatmeal.
Really?
I can mute
like
between talks.
It's okay, but really, oatmeal is his choice. The chef makes oatmeal.
It's pretty healthy, man. You put a bunch of apples and other fruits in there, and then you eat it.
Okay.
With,
I had this image of you just like having this raw porridge every single morning. It's like the training food. Like I'm assuming you actually had Victor, the big Serbian guy, known as Bucktop. To other people who just read his name rawly. He was running around in Croatia saying, "I'm gonna start up a training camp, a fitness training camp. I'm gonna be a personal trainer. People could hire me for like a month during their boot camps, and you'll come in and like do everything from diet to fitness to exercise, get everyone in peak physical condition for the next LAN event."
Huh, that's a good idea. I mean, I don't know. I think getting started is pretty easy. You just gotta drink a lot of water. I mean, we normally eat like tons of eggs for breakfast, but I swear, man, eggs just start to not be tasty after a while. But I don't know. I think it's more about not eating unhealthy than it is eating healthy for the most part.
I hear you there.
There's a lot of foods. Like the worst, man. Like I'm telling you, you really want to make an impact. Like free advice, you just cut out the soda and like all the sugary drinks. If you look at the amount of carbs and sugars in that, it'll literally just beat a candy bar most of the time. So you know that eating like a few Reese's is bad. Well, the large Coke is not good. It is probably worse.
Kappa's told me like the best thing he actually did was start drinking the flavored water, because there's still sugar in it, but you actually get enough of a taste that you don't just feel like you're drinking plain water all the time. So you satisfy your taste buds.
Yep, use like sweeteners and shit, which still isn't like amazing for you, but it's better than nothing. Yeah. And then if you're gonna drink, like, I mean, it's a shame because beer is just so delicious, but it's just so bad for you. And the best is just, like cranberry vodka, or even better, like the tonic in vodka. And it's just not pleasurable, So it's kind of finding that middle ground where you're not making your body die faster, but you're also not eating kale every day. It's all about moderation,
Yeah.
Why are we talking? I guess it's pause, so this is okay.
Yeah. Swindles. I know you're really you seem to be really bad about like you don't like doing filler kind of stuff. But I can tell you, even like at the Chinese major, there was a lot of downtime. Cinder and I on like the secondary stream, we spent 30 minutes talking about like different types of soup you can make out of crepes. This is just something you got to accept as a caster.
All right, I'll improve it. I gotta start. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about current events in the world right now. As an American, you want to stay very far away from those sorts of discussions. So I'm like limited in my topics at the moment, but
Oh, just
it's going underway.
so many things which we will avoid. Just like Skywrath Mage, you're looking very blue today, which is his normal color. Wait, no, he's not. Off free roll. So Vega, let's check out their lanes. They run Mag off lane, no surprise with the Beastmaster. They'll throw no one into the mid lane as the Zeus with early bottle. Solo and Seema going to be the two supports with Boots first Solo, so no straight Iron Talon for this Doombringer. And that puts FN into the safe lane as the Spectre. Man, they are getting up in the face of this Enchantress. She's still got a Sentry Ward of her own, and they have to keep it off the hillside. Wow, they've actually almost killed her. In fact, they are going to kill her. That happened.
They mostly just wanted to push her off the camp because with the new spawn boxes, I mean, everyone places wards perfectly, so nearly every camp is now just a coin flip. So if they don't see you place your ward, you can assume that most of the time they'll probably need to use two. And actually, Enchantress still only has that one sentry, so he's got to get lucky now.
Are you a fan of the new spawn boxes? Like, there was a little bit of talk where things has become a little bit easier for people because the spawn boxes now exist.
Yes and no. I mean, as a Dota purist, I can understand why someone would dislike it. I just feel like it's one of those things where everyone should know it, and the information's easily available. It's like the same as, like, in my opinion, it's like the same argument you'd use to, like, bring a notebook into a booth, you know? If you're gonna make notes, like, why not just have the notes with you, in a sense? It's the same sort of thing.
Well,
so
you bring a notebook into a booth.
Yeah, well, it's sort of the same thing. So instead of forcing every player to go through the tedious learning of every box, or if you go to a LAN event, like literally printing out the boxes and having them with you, which is always possible, they just sort of give it to everybody. And, I mean, yeah, I can understand the logistics.
So,
and Doom just ate the big creek.
Yeah,
so,
Solo
yeah.
has just been the biggest dick in the world. Like, yeah, the camp was dewarded. That was nice. One sentry ward down. Yay. But just to walk up at the exact last moment as the Enchantress was there, it's like, yeah. Good luck for that one. Even Lion's having a real hard time up against Mag. Like, he can throw out his stun all he wants, but with the boar slow, Mag can harass him out of this lane. If King Eye actually didn't have boots first, this would be a very dead Lion. I'm also not quite certain about this Courier's run. Okay, it is the Dire Courier. It seems to be a little bit, like, stray.
This is really good by Mag. He again goes for the early boots, and Doom getting the information on. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's not going to equate to anything. Still got to remember that's a level 3 Invoker.
He's did start with a wand, which is nice. Doom gonna eat a clarity real quick. And this is sort of the thing. Like Beastmaster against these two heroes, he'll get a lot with this boots first build, but the Enchantress is once again the hero that kind of has to make an impact. And as you can see, Solo's just pretty much denying his roam more so than actually trying to get anything done. Now he might be able to eat another creep. Yep, there it goes. He'll take that.
It was going to time out anyway. And now he's got War Stop instead of Regeneration. But there's a lot of movement coming out from Team Empire. They're moving up. Okay, because they're trying to check the wards of Vega. And Vega right now, they put one ward watching that top rune / mid lane. And the other Radiant Observer ward, did it? God, it's on the bottom rune. It's on the bottom rune. Just a little bit further north, however, away from where most people would probably look to D-ward. How's that bottom lane looking? Faceless Voice getting some free levels down here. The CS is also looking pretty damn good for him.
I don't know. I feel like this is sort of the same as last game, where this like now there's just a Doom here. Like you're not roaming, and like this Enchantress kind of needs to get something done because as we saw last game, his hero will fall off pretty hard. This Doom will eventually, inevitably, be really impactful in this game, especially because unlike last game. Oh wow! Oh, okay. He's just gonna stun and run. But this game, there's a Void, a Gyro, Invoker. All of these are excellent Doom targets. Specifically the Invoker and the Void before ulti. So, We'll see what happens, man. But once again, I just feel like Vega's got the better strategy, and Empire needs to outplay their opponents to win this game.
I also love this strategy on the bottom lane. We saw something similar with it from another CIS team recently, where they ran a Skywrath Mage as well as a Clinks up against the Faceless Void. Because normally Void, like, your issue is you try and do a whole bunch of damage to him and then he just time walks and repairs it. But if you do a lot of burst damage and then you can seal him at the right time, he can't time walk that off. So that's where the Skywrath Mage is being picked up more and more up against its off-lane Faceless Void. That also was a game where you had a lot of synergy, and they were also running a mid Zeus in that game as well.
Yep. And they're just gonna hit a timing where they'll have Hawks flying around, Beastmaster ready to roar, and then a double global potential. While at the same time, Skywrath and Doom could be their very own hit squad and take out. Probably they'd be pretty even against any two heroes if they get a Doom off early. So it's just one of those situations where you just look at Vegas heroes. There, I just feel like it's so much easier for them to make things happen around the map. The laning stage is pretty even. I think that Empire's probably getting a slightly better exchange, but that's sort of a given as they are running the Ench. And I mean, he's gotten a smoke, so I expect him to make a move soon. It's really got to work out for him. They need to secure one of these lanes as a definite win for their side.
Yeah, because right now also, the only rotation from the Enchantress has just been off the back of walking directly at people, not a smoke movement.
Sorry to interrupt, but just to confirm, Scandal actually wasn't playing in the previous game. They had a ringer, right? Because he's back for this one.
Yes, correct. Solo on the run. This could actually be a second kill with the extra stun. The Centaur from the neutral camp was helping out, at least Scandal for a moment, but it's actually a Sunstrike from Scandal to get that kill.
They really needed that. They really needed that. Invoker's having a great lane, though. He's actually behind in CS, which is surprising, but that kill will help jumpstart his Midas. Scandal's going to need to play a phenomenal game for them to win this, and he has so much to deal with. Like if you look at the Vega heroes, all of them are a problem for him. Oh wow, look, oh jeez, and there you go. Oh. Void just died immediately. Caught a silence, a dagger, Zeus ult dead, and there's just nothing he can do.
Yeah. Wasn't even looking for that one. I was actually busy checking out exactly who was playing in the last game for Team Empire.
Oof. I mean, there's a tornado mid, kind of messing with no one, but he's actually going to go get that regen rune bottom, which is really friendly for an Zeus. That is awesome. Oh, it gets denied by the Forge Spirit. Really good job that game by Scandal. I don't think their ringer does that. That's actually super important. Not a lot of people do that, but one of the huge benefits of heroes like NP, Beastmaster, Invoker is that you can always be disciplined and check runes with your minion, and as you can see there, it pays off in a very big way.
Yeah, to answer your question, like, it was Yellow Warrior who was playing instead for Scandal in game number 1. I just wanted to double check it before I said it. That was all.
Wasn't he supporting? Oh yeah, and they had Mapushka mid, so that really wasn't even Team Empire, which explains why their draft was
odd.
I'll say somewhat weird. Yeah, just a little odd.
Yes, odd is the best word for those situations. It's almost like it was interesting kind of statement. Well, this has been pretty passive for the early start. I really was expecting more movement coming out from Mapushka. And now he's going to move to bottom lane, but he's right underneath the Radiant Observer Ward. So this movement of Team Empire is very much telegraphed. And notice too, like, what Seam is prioritizing. Thunder God's Wrath's back off cooldown, and he's got a 40% damage increase on Magical. He actually went to 3 points up in the Ancient Seal. Also stopping the Faceless Void from getting away.
You see Enchantress actually rotating over, so before I comment, we'll see what happens.
Rotating over. Who do they focus on? Seema actually seals over on the Enchantress. Thunder God's Wrath. Here she comes, Enchantress! Down to 66 life. The Skywrath Mage will drop. As Spectre actually realityed himself up to the Lion. He actually left the bottom lane completely after Ramsey's rotated down. Zeus is still in the neighborhood. So we basically had a little bit of a switcheroo for the moment.
Solo? Solo? Oh.
I don't know why he walked in there. I think he's really expecting no one to initiate. And now Zeus, trapped inside the Chronosphere. The Sunstrides can hit pretty nicely on no one. And he's not going to get out of this one either. Team Empire. So they're getting free kills. Yes, the Enchantress was brought down by the Zeus, but like really, the cost is so high. They can turn and fight this one in 7 seconds time, Team Empire, if they want to. Because they've got the cooldown available from Ramsey's end. But the pressure will not be applied there. Vega will fall back, and Scandal's getting free damage on the mid-tier 1.
The Invoker, oh wow, yeah, Dead Skywrath. The Invoker actually had an Arcane Rune there, so he had 2 Sunstrikes, which helped secure both kills. Unfortunately, didn't get either one, but he's still going to finish his Midas just about now. That was really good for Empire, because the Lion got level 6 top, TP's bottom immediately gets a kill, fresh Arcanes too, and Scandal will get the mid-tower as well, so that was really, really good for Empire. They move really far ahead just in map control. They're going to probably be about 2,000 gold, 2,000 XP when the dust settles, and they really needed those rotations, although I question what in the hell Vega was doing. They lost 3 heroes, in my opinion, for like no reason, because solo running in just made no sense.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. I was watching it happen, and my eyes are almost like in disbelief. And now Team Empire, like... You've got a Gyrocopter of 5.1k net worth. You got an Invoker at 4k net worth in front of the Spectre, and he just picked up his Midas in under 10 minutes. Scandal's gonna have himself a great time, and they've actually got the other big perk of being on Dire side with a large amount of summons available for them, aka both the Forge Spirits, the Alacrity buff ups, the Enchantress advantage, so they can slip themselves in to take Roshan pretty quickly. They obviously still have to respect the nuke damage that comes from Vega and the chaos that can be caused by the Roar and Spectral Haunt. There's something they have to keep in mind.
Indeed. It just makes it so hard to play this kind of game.
Afterlife,
because
about to get roared up. They got to keep that silence going, and okay, hello, goodbye. Yeah.
I don't like the usage of the Spectre ulti, but he does get the assist then. That's a pretty okay gold change, but I just feel like Spectre ult's too valuable. Even though they're using the Roar and the Zeus ulti, you can still score a kill later on with just any disable, the Doom goes off, anything like that. Yeah, I mean, this is still okay for both teams, but like I said, I think Empire are the ones that really have the... They need to make things happen, and it starts with pushing this tower, so they need to make this happen.
Well, they're attacking into it. Vega not using their fortification just yet. They don't really have any intention of fighting this. As you can see, they're all backing out now. But you may as well fortify just to make Team Empire waste a little bit of time. Meanwhile, they have to focus on a different target. But what target do you even go for? Like, if you're Vega right now, you understand that Team Empire has a superior position because you don't have Spectral Horn up. And you also don't have Beastmaster Roar available. So you just try and farm up the lanes. Secure your jungle after you've lost the tier 1 tower with wards. Like, what's the play here?
We talking for Empire here?
No, for Vega.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, maybe this is the play. Try and contest Roshan with a tornado from solo.
I mean, again, if they had Spectre ulti, maybe they look to fight this, but it is very difficult to battle into Empire's lineup right now. They have all the necessary levels and cooldowns available. Like it's sort of like whenever you have a Void, Enigma, Phoenix, these huge, big AoE ulti heroes.
Here they come. Roshan's already in the hands of Gyrocopter, a perfect Chronosphere. Doom's going to pop very, very quickly. And Seema's on the run out here. They may have sealed up over on Ramses, but he'll let the call down go. No one's TPing out inside the tree line. They do not have a stun to stop him. Cold Snap was already triggered, and the line was too far away. So 2 heroes lost for Vega, while Empire will take the easy Roshan and push instantly into the tier 2 tower and bottom.
What's Solo doing, man?
Question mark. There's no answer. There's no answer. He's walking into the middle of Team Empire. I know he's got to get Doom off, but
you just can't. His team's not even close to him. You know what I mean? I don't want to criticize him too harshly because he is the captain right now, and I believe he's making the shot calls. And as someone who does that role myself, like sometimes you can just get distracted. You're looking ahead, you're thinking about the enemies, and you just do that again.
Spectral Haunt, okay. Solo, dead again. He's almost playing the Syndron role right now as Candle will also be popped by Zeus, and they've got some good damage, especially with FN on the back lines. You got 2 heroes down, but Ramses With that cooldown, you can say goodbye to the Zeus, so there goes your burst damage in Afterlife. In 2 seconds time, he's got Time Walk available, jumps himself forward, he needs to get himself a Time Lock, actually doesn't even have that skilled up. So, Seema into the trees will definitely end up dying, and wonderful Time Walk forward, blocks the tree line, and they'll get the extra kill of the Skywrath Mage.
I think Vega will take that though. They lose 2, but they get Aegis and 2, and if you look at even the CS, we're going to get to a situation where it's pretty much Invoker Gyro versus all regarding damage output. Mapushka is, once again, just really underfarmed on this Ench, and the Void is going for a full, he'll go into the Vlad, straight into Blink. He doesn't even skill Bash yet, so they just need to keep this momentum going, and those towers are really important. I talk about this all the time, but as Dire, you really want to take the Radiant safe lane towers ASAP, because it just, like, you can even see, like, now the map that's open for them. Like, all of this area they can now control. And specifically in the jungle, like, this is now their domain. It also protects Roshan, helps to cover runes, and Empire just need to control the map, make sure they get at least 60-70% of the farm, and take fights when they can get them, because they will lose if this gets into just like a ratting split push style, just due to the sheer amount of global pressure that Vega can output.
Mid lane, Solo set again. Yeah, his team is a long way away, and he'll go 0 for 5 now on this Doombringer. Scandal was actually being I don't want to say initiated on, but scouted up on the top lane, but his Ghost Walk just lets him walk away. So they couldn't find the opening there. And you've almost got your ulti up, so yeah, there it is. 1 second, and now Spectral Haunt is available. And this is the time when Vega want to fight. They have the power to do so. So they're actually going to double smoke up with Seema and Mag. FN's just hiding in the tree lines just outside of the range of the rest of Team Empire. And you can say goodbye to your Enchantress now. So Smoke Gank, Roar, and Mystic Flare combo, does this work? And they don't have to burn both their big ulti combos either. But this Spectre is having a lot of downtime. Like, there's no farming to be had. Instead, no one's the one claiming it in the bottom lane. So he can get this Veil of Discord up.
He's also not going for the Radiance, something I'm not a huge fan of. I think that you gotta bad man, just go with the drums, get the Radiance. I think that that's the way they needed to play this. I like what Empire has done, though. They've itemized very aggressively. We're going to have an SNY straight into a BKB. Screw the lifesteal on Ramses. Scandal's going Midas into drums. I expect him to go either Necrobook, Yules, or Bots next. And they're just going full fight, and they are grouping up and attacking straight at the objectives, which is how you need to play against this Vega lineup. They will slaughter you if you get caught in multiple positions, but team fight wise, Empire definitely has the advantage.
And this is what you're asking for too, right? In Gainable 1, you're there going, okay, well, you take Roshan, then you half-heartedly attempt some kind of push at an objective. This time around, like, it seems like Empire, with Scandal back in the lineup, is just looking like they actually have purpose on the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It just seems to me like there's a lot more fluidity to their movements, and even when they're acting independently, there's obviously a team dynamic in play. Like, there's a purpose to the macro goals of this team. And Scandal's actually going to rush the Ags. I haven't seen many people pull this off successfully, but I actually really like it here because it'll allow him to just be a real Invoker very early on. I expect him to get the next Aegis, and he can just do so much work with all the spells to be able to cast. I personally, I have become a big believer in Ice Wall, man. That thing is just so annoying to play against. And if you look at Vega's heroes, nearly all of them, specifically Beastmaster, Spectre, Doom, these heroes can get kited so hard by a well-played Invoker. When he gets more levels, you can start throwing a Tornado into the mix. It's going to get really scary for Vega. He needs to be the Doom target, which is why I think he'll get the next Aegis. And then we'll see Empire try to high ground.
I found Lion.
Oh, there. Yep.
Very quick kill. The Beastmaster Hawk just let them scat out his position. As Afterlife wants to keep chasing. He does not have a lot of life over on this Faceless Void, so when he gets doomed like that, the Mystic Flare will ensure the kill. And now Team Empire, after all that wonderful praise we had, you even got the Enchantress walking into the middle of Vega. We were just praising how fluid their movements are and the purpose of everything they were doing, but that chase felt very odd, giving Vega now a huge boost. Skywrath Mage actually got just over 600 gold just from being involved in that. Their trade-off could be if they kill off FN, but with drums and face boots, they're not going to catch him.
Yep. It's another free pickoff, and they get a tower, which is even more important. This is really big for Vega to just open up the map a little. Their timing is just not for some time. They're going to be needing, like, Necro 3 on the Beastmaster. Zeus is going to need just mobility items. He went once again for that Veil and Aether Lens build, so he just needs the mobility to actually get his spells off effectively. Scandal's going to finish his Ag soon. Ramses is really farmed. We talked about this kid on Gyrocopter. Definitely the hero he's most comfortable on. But Vega also just got up 2 really nice deep wards as well. These are so helpful. You'll notice this if you study a lot of the really top teams, where they very rarely will ward locations like in this area or this area, choosing instead as the Radiant side to place like deep vision, so that you can actually scout out their movements before the smoke, before they actually make the hidden movements. So a lot of times rune wards won't really give you the info because they'll already be smoked past them, whereas these deep wards, like, they see the void and they know that they are safe around the map, which is why this Beastmaster can just actually run straight up to top and take this wave instead of being afraid with only one hero showing on the map.
Because he knows the void is farming up on the side. Yeah.
Yep.
There's your Agony.
He also has vision of the Enchantress bottom. Yep.
Yeah, that one's actually a little bit more of a defensive wall compared to the one you were talking about. But I suppose when the tier 1 tower is still up, it still helps. But Empire now will 4-man smoke up underneath their own tier 2 tower. There's a wave from the 3 Radiant Obs wards. But is this that moment too when
that's a Radiant line right there. They know exactly what's coming because they saw the void, and then no one shows middle, no one's bottom with the exception of this Enchantress.
Yep.
And there's no objective there. So they're very aware this is happening. And that's sort of like the
they prepare. But they smoke, they go straight into it. Ram's gonna get himself a really good call, and a Willy no! They blink out, Man got himself stuck in the trees for a half a second, and that's the 10-second BKB burnt from Ramses. Lion will get hit by the Veil of Discord, so Thunder God's Wrath gets the vision. Special Dagger up with the Chronosphere, and now Solo, really too close in, gets hit by the Chronosphere. You got FN on the front lines with the Finger of Death. Lion's last gift to them. The Doom is already brought back into this fight. Seema is so low, walking away. Scandal, does he actually have Sunstrike available to invoke it? He should have actually seen Seema go into the tree line, but not going to happen.
Alright, so 3 things about that fight. 1, Void really needed to itemize for a Blink instead of an Ags straight away, in my opinion, and that kind of demonstrates why. They actually just don't have initiation as the Lion went Arcanes and didn't rush Blink. And Solo is just suffering from Curse of the Captain, where he just continuously is running in.
He's dead as well. He's still dead. Like, with the Call Snap and the Rocket Barrage, he has a dieback as well. He went through 2 lives without casting Doom.
Yeah, Solo is not. He's 0-7 right now, and he's just trying to do too much. Where in this game, it's kind of hard. But like Mag sort of has to be the guy scouting out. And on the last point, you never counter smoke up a high ground ever. That smoke works if they maybe do it like this, but you never ever smoke up a high ground. That's like rule number 1. But they get burned, and now it's a perfect timing for the Roche spawn. No ultis available on Vega. They might try to contest this, but they're going to be too late.
Beastmaster Hawk gets pretty quickly sniped off, and Scandal is now an immortal. What do you want to see over on Scandal? Like, is it important for him to have maneuverability to keep up with the Faceless Void, like going something like a Blink Dagger, or can he get away with BTs into Disable?
Sorry, which hero?
Invoker. What would be your item choice progression-wise?
It's hard to say, honestly. I don't play that hero as much as my teammates do. In this game, I'd probably say bots, just so that, because they're ahead enough, he's doing enough damage. They're in a position where the only way they really lose is if they aren't able to close the game in the next 10-15 minutes. So I'd say either an item that allows him to all in, or that allows him to just control the map a little bit better and ensure these lanes are pushed. And they once again find a kill on the Enchantress, and that's just kind of what happens with this massive damage output. And Empire will slowly lose their advantage if this style continues. They just need to be able to go for objectives very soon, and I'm really afraid they might be waiting for this Ags on Afterlife, and it's just not an item that I think will make enough of an impact on this game. Like, it's just not good here. This
is so sad for Orion. He's going to die to Necro Books, but he was 20 gold away from having his Blink Dagger when that gank happened. And it was just these 2 Observer Walls that were planted down by Vega, which allowed them to see his perfect positioning. He needed 1 last camp to get his Blink Dagger. 1 camp. That was all.
Yep. Really unfortunate. And once again, these wards pay off. Vega is playing with just way more vision than the enemy team. They see both of these CPs coming in, Enchantress, Invoker. They now know they're up there. Afterlife camping. There's actually a Manta finished on FN. Not a huge fan of that item, as I said, but I mean, it's not bad here. I just feel like a Radiance at this point would kind of just secure them this game, whereas the Manta delays their timing until at least his Diffusal, potentially his item after that.
I'm not actually. I'm a little bit more forward in this game, especially up against heroes like Lion, because that's like obviously like it works with the illusions. You can just get into like something like a Diffusal Blade, and that Lion is just going to be dead within the space of maybe 1 full second. You won't have the same kind of power against the Enchantress, however, but yeah. It gives you quick burst options once you haunt in. Ramses, say hello to Hawk. Hawk, say hello to Ramses. He just walks up to the tier 2 tower and just starts hitting it. Oh, this Gyro doesn't really fear anything.
Yep, this is what they need to do. He went back for the lifesteal, I agree with that. He should be able to accelerate by just stacking his own Ancients if they aren't able to high ground immediately. And they're in a really good position here. Solo's making the right move and he's split pushing bottom. They can really just force hard here. Scandal did choose to go for the bots, by the way. Yeah, he'll go bots into BKB. And then if they don't try to go for it here, which I expect they'll probably back off after this tower, then their timing is going to be with the next big Gyro item, an Aegis on the Gyrocopter, and a BKB on Invoker.
There's Lion's Blink Dagger now up. He's having to fly it out to himself, so they're not ready to have his initiation yet. Mag would like an exit kill if possible. Ramses hanging around for the Ancients, and they're beating on top of the Hawk. So there's your Beastmaster Raw, Spectral Haunt, and a quick movement. Zeus beating in and then blinking up to give his extra bit of damage to also ensure the last hit. And 680 gold for the kill over on the Gyrocopter.
That's just not a good play. You can't take the enemy Ancients there. You have no vision. It's just a very kind of selfish play. And it's probably Ramsey's biggest flaw right now. You won't see better players make that sort of error. There's no really other way to say it. He's just needs to work on his game sense in a lot of situations. But that's kind of what happens when you're his kind of player. He's the big guy, you know? I'd use a different euphemism, but point is he just plays Dota, and he's better than you, and he's going to try and take everything from you, and a lot of times that can put you out of position against a coordinated team, and as you saw, just a poured in, a roar, Spectre ult, and the guy just dies, and that'll happen the entire game to any hero, regardless of the amount of farm they acquire.
Here's your push. That tier 1 tower starting to drop down low, just the Spectral illusions which are left behind, and the tower actually denied up by the Gyrocopter, so Ramses might have given his life, but he takes away the extra gold of the tower. Which, hilariously enough, is actually similar to what he was worth when he died. But you've still got this Aegis Immortal on the back of Scandal. This thing only lasts for another 20 seconds, however. Actually, maybe even less. There may even be 15 seconds. So, Team Empire now. Like, there's no tier 2 tower to push in the bottom lane. Like, they've still removed all added towers from Vega. So these type of pushing is like, okay, Afterlife, well, that Chronosphere won't be useful. And the Tornado is well off target as well. Mag just walked around the edge of the Chronosphere. Cold Snap will be there, so he'll trade his life. Avoid for a Beastmaster. It's kind of dangerous considering Mag is still their only form of initiation, because Solo just, well, he does actually have that Blink Dagger now on the Doombringer. So maybe they do actually have a second form of initiation.
The key is now that they have two things that can set up the global. So they can blink Roar, or they can blink Doom. And in addition, Zeus has a bot and blink to set up follow-up. Obviously, Spectre can...
The Hex! No! Lion hexed the Mud Golem! He didn't hex Doom. Doom was too quick on the blink, so King R actually, yeah, hexed the Mud Golem. Whoops. It happens.
Unfortunate. The key to this game is going to be, like, yes, Gyro and Invoker are ahead of the game, but if you compare every other hero on Vega right now, they're ahead of their counterpart, and especially in the Beastmaster vs. Void, that's only going to continue and get worse. And eventually Spectre will just carry the game, although he is in a lot of trouble up here if they can catch him.
He's moving to the trees. He's still got a TP scroll available. And Afterlife just had a YOLO chrono.
It's fine, he has an AG, so not a huge investment. You miss 100% of the void ults you don't take.
The amount of versions I've heard of that Dendy line is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, it's originally, I think, a Jordan quote, but, I mean, we can call it Dendy's.
Was it actually done by Jordan to start with? Was that like
Yeah.
you missed the amount of
It's
baskets?
either...
You don't.
Yeah,
shoot
it was either him. It was either him or Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It might have been Gretzky too. I'm not sure, but it was one of them. I'm pretty sure.
So, someone tracked down some history for us. Always good to know sources. Right, so
It was Gretzky. That was right. Bang.
it was Gretzky.
Uh-huh.
Well, in that case, I'll stop giving Dendy credit for it. Because he always, that was the first time I collected the NBA cards, but I never really listened to the players too much. I remember from the Dendy hook line.
Hard to forget.
Yeah, but Pudge is easy to forget. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. The hero's still good. My brother tries to get me to pick it for him all the time, but I'm just not about that life right now.
There's a lot of things that, like...
It's like, why would you pick a 4 Pudge that needs to hit hooks when you can just pick a 4 Doom that can just die and die and die and just keep eating creeps and will inevitably have more farm than said Pudge?
There's no good answer to that one, which goes in favor of Pudge.
Yeah, sure. This game is looking good for Vega. I think this is what they want. The game is stagnated for like the last 5 minutes. No real action, no real change in the advantage for either side. The Aegis has faded. They're just not really in any concern here, I don't think. They have a BKB now on the Spectre, which is very interesting to me because while it's good, but if he gets either hexed or void ulted before that goes off, it just becomes a wasted 4,000 gold, where, say, a Radiance, the build-up for a Heart, a Diffusal might actually allow him to survive. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You see this a really weird ward, though, by Empire. All the way on the left side of the map. Typically, you see that against Tinkers, Bat Riders, Furians, but this is just, I guess, for this situation that's about to happen. Oh, wow. No one... Wow.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
Yep. That one was good protection, right?
Alright, so no one read him like a book. I don't know if he showed himself. That might be possible, but no one could have also just made a really big play. Spectre ult's gonna go out.
Yeah, they messed it up a little bit. Mag went for the raw and actually went straight to Necrobooks after, but he did it at the same time as the jump away. So they missed their initiation on Afterlife.
Roche still not up. Let's see. Solo also, he chose to go for the Max Devour build over the Max Infernal Blade, so he's actually moved ahead of the Void as well, and he'll continue to skyrocket in net worth, even with all of the mistakes he's made, and the fact that he's bought out already. And once again, I just disagree with everything Afterlife has done this game. He skipped Bash at really early levels, and he rushed Aghanim Scepter, which is just... You just don't need it. If you think about it, all of the ults from Vega, 90 seconds on the Zeus ult, 120 on the Spectre, 75 on the Roar. There's no real difference between him having 90 seconds or 60, which is what he's got now. And, well, he will get an ult up. What is Solo doing there, man? How's that happening?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's no easy way to answer that.
Yeah. He's just not having a good game. Looks somewhat tilted, but we'll see. So the thing is, like, this Void ulti, it will be back up soon, but if they fight before it comes up, his hero is effectively worthless. Tornado's going to miss. Roche is dying, but slowly, and I don't like this because Gyro's taking damage in the pit, and this is scary.
He's already at 3/4 of his life. There's the raw forward. They go on top of Scandal. Invoker! BKB's up. He lived on 5 HP. He walks away. You got the buyback already out from Solo because obviously he loves to do that. FN with his BKB now going to wear off Ramses. No one's right behind him. That orb attack is going to be enough to kill him off as he dropped down to 2 thanks to the Arc Lightning. They cannot kill off FN. They look for the Sunstrike, but FN hides him in the tree line. They move back over and Doom. Well, I suppose it wasn't used yet. Now they can kill off King R. They will take the gem and Vega. The big fight going their way. They will move over to Roshan. Well, the dream is real right now if you're Vega. You just took the greatest fight ever.
Sunstrike in the base? Oh, okay. Still cool down.
He tried actually, where did he throw that one? He threw it at Roshan. Trying to see if Vega was still in there. That's the only downside for Vega is they couldn't slip in and take Roshan after that. But considering they were 6,000 net worth behind at one point, and they were actually about 3.5k to 4k worth of experience behind, they're now 5k experience ahead, and they're about to lead the gold for the first time in the last 20 minutes.
This is the problem with this dual core setup, and part of the reason you've seen, again, a lot of top teams shifting to more of a tri or even quad core setup, because while both of these heroes, like, they're ahead of the game, both Scandal and Ramses, but they went on Scandal there, and even though they didn't kill him, they took him so low that he couldn't fight again. And that's all they need to do, which I think they're about to do again.
They reveal him again. Up they run. Scandal. Here goes your BKB. The Chronosphere from Afterlife. It misses everything. In fact, it actually traps Scandal here inside the Chrono, wasting even more of his BKB time. Mag was jumping in for the back of the Raw. Now you go for your Spectral Horn. And you got everything there. The Finger of Death used on the Spectre. They've almost got FN down. He'll break free, but not far enough. The Impetus damage from the Enchantress will find that pick off. And now Beastmaster. Necrobook's up again. He fails on the Raw timing. No, shift click's just not working for him, but he walks back through. His own teammates Mystic Flare to now get the Raw off from the Enchantress. They want Ramses. It's a double kill right now on the Enchantress. The gem, oh, who gives a crap? The Enchantress is down. It's a triple kill for no one. 4 heroes down for Team Empire at the moment. I'm not quite certain they have enough damage to kill off Roshan, however. This is the downside.
I'm starting to think that maybe Afterlife should just sell the Ags, because I don't know if more ultimates is really what his team is going to want out of him at this point. I think some auto attacks might be better, because that was just... that's just not the play, Toby. That's Roche. They don't even need the Spectre. Like, he made a big mistake and didn't BKB before he went in and died immediately, but did so much damage through dispersion that they just didn't care, and Zeus, Doom, Sky, like, it just didn't matter. Like, Zeus just killed everything. And like, I don't know, the Voids just had no impact on this game thus far.
It's the chaos factor, which is made by Vega, which I think is making this also a little bit harder for Afterlife to know what target to go on. Like, right now, he just seems to, like, the first thing he sees, his eyes just light up. It's like, oh, ball of string, cat pounce kind of play. And Vega are properly reading this. Like, the second they want to go on somebody, like, the only things which I kind of felt have been a little bit, like, also iffy consistently from Vega is Mag. Like, his blink to Raws, the amount of times he's attempted it, but stopped halfway through his Raw, I don't think it's even because Empire is stopping him, he just actually cancels it.
We're talking about...
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster?
Yeah, the blink Raw. Like, he blinks to Raws and then instantly triggers Necrobook straight away. Like, I'm assuming he's shift-clicking this stuff.
It's possible. I don't think so. I don't know if you could really play Beastmaster with shift-clicking, but the... It's interesting because it's another big difference between Han and Dota, and part of the reason tread swapping and even summoning units from a Necrobook can be a little weird because it counts as like an action and or a frame, so to speak. So if you tread swap, like, your hero, I don't know how to explain it, but it takes a frame to use items. So normally you want to roar first, but at the same time, if you die without getting your Necrobook off,
yeah,
like a lucky hex off,
they got Nivis room from Mag. They instantly see Ramses, Necrobooks, Mystic Flare, and say goodbye to your Gyrocopter for 72 seconds. And Evan actually BKB'd and went in after Afterlife. That was a little too deep there, but it won't really matter. With no Gyrocopter on the field, and Scandal already at half-life, he's forced back to regenerate. The only thing which is helping him out is the fact that Vega do not have their creep wave with them just yet. So we're slowing the attack up into the high ground of Empire, but now they arrive. Veil of Discord only connected onto King R.
They saw the MKB, so they should know he doesn't have buyback, and Solo's dead.
Well, luckily they gave Aegis the Immortal to the guy that was continuously dying, and Solo jumps in. Instant doom on the Faceless Void, again, deleted from this team fight. The Faceless Void will buy back. The Ice Wall's up from Scandal, but Vega, they're backing out. They got Fortification out, they got buyback out from the Faceless Void, and the Gyro is still dead for another 16 seconds.
Yep. You can't play a Void in this kind of game, in this role on your team, and not have a Blink Dagger. Like, he can't get good ultimates off because he just doesn't have the positioning, and okay, Zeus just, yeah. You just don't give no one Zeus, man. This guy loves this hero. I think that Vega's at their best when they're running like a a Tricore with Beastmaster, Fury for Mag, Zeus or Invoker for no one, and then their FN on like just a Spectre or Slark. It's just so annoying to deal with, and they cause so much chaos, and it's just, again, just such high damage output from that Zeus hero, as demonstrated once again.
It's also crazy now that no one, like, he's gonna have 2 heroes which you want to ban out in the first 2 in the drafting phase. If you go up against the Vega, what are you gonna do? I take out Zeus and Invoker in the first 2.
Yeah, and then if you take those out, then you can just like play the OD. And man, there's no hero I think more hated right now in all of Dota, because Invoker, you know, it's maybe a little cheesy, whatever, but at least you feel like he's beating you. But this whole imprison himself into blink out, and he can do that through anything that's going on is really, really frustrating.
I got a story for you on that one. Now the blink, raw. Ramses gets his BKB off as well as a decent call down, but well, it doesn't really stop him. Vega just keep moving forward. Solo, well, Scandal's just trying to kill him up, but it looks like Solo's actually reached a point now where he won't die. 2 heroes down for Team Empire, 3 heroes down, all 3 of them the cores as well. And look at no one, he's hunting. He is hunting so hard with the lightning bolt. He's got him! He actually reaches that far.
Yeah.
4 heroes lost.
This is the problem with Empire's lineup. Like, they had a timing, and they just didn't seem to be aware of it. And at this point, like, what do? You know, you can't look at the HP of Spectre and Zeus, Beastmaster, Doom. Like, the only squishy hero is Skywrath. Everyone else is
no one.
At least like a billion health.
They got the Doom on Scandal. This actually just guarantees them a mid with the Veil of Discord plus the Seal. Enchantress just disintegrates. Shield buyback. Do they actually go for the GG push here? Because it's the only option they've got with the tier 2 tower still up. It's either backup or GG push. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be backup. They'll make their way through the bottom lane.
They'll get the tier 2, they'll retreat, buy all their items, and then just make another fight soon. But there's no reason to immediately team fight after you get all those big wins. Like, just look at the amount of gold saved on all their heroes. Spectre's finishing a heart. Doom has 3k, a recipe in the base. Zeus has nearly 6k. I mean, they're very, very wealthy right now in Vega.
They have about 20k net worth advantage. The experience is 25,000 in favor of Vega. Ooh. And a refresher orb Zeus. Yep. Okay, if he gets Veil on anybody, especially the Enchantress and the Lion, they're dead. Just simply delete it. In fact, is the Lion actually deleted anyway, even without Veil? 940 HP to get through on him. They go. Zeus. Mid lane as no one's going to bounce around. Half-Life's coming in for the Chronosphere. No one. Hex, Finger. Yep. They kill him off. Yep. Zeus still has money for buyback after buying Refresher Orb, but still, it's a good kill.
Yeah, he just gets cocky once again. There's really no reason for him to be there. He's going to buy back, though, because once again, Mag's Invis. He'll kill the Void.
The jump back. With that ultimate of Thunder God's Wrath, you can say goodbye to the Lion in the Faceless Void. The Enchantress will also go down here to FN. There's your refresher. GG is the call. No one's death was of little consequence when FN kicks in for an ultra kill, and Vega will 2-0 advance themselves through into the semifinals.
Yep, this is the issue with this dual core lineup. Like, if you remember back in the day, EG would always do like their DP Furion thing with an Abaddon. Saw some VODs of that yesterday. Back at MDL, eHome would do like an LC with a lone